Hey everyone, welcome to Agreatalternative Alternative. In today's video, we're going to make a Catalan or tension tray. First of all, foraging materials. The ones that I've ended up with most of is this, which is hazel. This was foraged off of the top of hedgerows. And that's why they're so perfectly and lovely straight, is because this is just 1 year's growth. I've also got some willow. And I will say, obviously you might not find willow like this. I do have some goat willow, that's what this is, and you will find that just out and about. But I also have some willow that's been foraged off of our land. And I just wanted to use this as a brief introduction into myself and Alicia. Our channel's about starting a homestead in Wales. One of the things that we're growing quite a bit of is willow, and therefore that's where most of this has come from, is sort of in and around our land and what we have to hand. Obviously you might not necessarily have this one, so an alternative would be something like goat willow. It'll be a little bit more prone to snapping, but you can pretty much use it in the same way you might do willow, or even another one that you could try could be weeping willow. But in essence, what you want to do is find yourself a mixture of different thicknesses as well. Some of these are thinner, so to give you an example. For example, some of the thinner things compared to the thicker pieces. Don't worry about too much about how thick you get. So for example, these ones are okay. If you want to do it thicker, that's absolutely okay, because in essence, this is a fairly simple weave and you're not really stressing the material that much. This project that we're going to do today is a bit of a follow along. So someone that I have watched and really enjoy watching is Hannah van Alst. I think that's how to say her name. I apologise if I get that wrong. And this is basically a following of a video that she did. So it's a great beginner's project. That's exactly why I'm doing it, because I'm a beginner. And it's part of a series of videos that I'm going to do on this channel that are basically beginner crafting projects. For example, I just made this today. This is a Douglas fir foraged random weave basket. If you're interested, then check the video above or wait till the end. But like I say, we're going to do a bunch of different projects on this channel that are either follow along from books or from other channels and different people. Hopefully I'm going to get those people involved sometimes, but ideally, you know, yourselves growing with me. I'm a complete beginner at a lot of stuff like this, so a lot of it is the experimentation and trying things out and just giving things a go, really. So let's get started. First of all, we need to make a circle. These are some longer pieces of goat willow that I found. These are probably, I'm terrible with distances, 1.5 meters, something like that. No, it's got to be more than that. Then you just want to bend this into a circle. I find sometimes just by kind of working it like this, it might have a natural curve in there. So you just kind of accentuate the curve that's already there. Other times I might kind of, can't see this on the camera, but I might get my knee and just kind of like either do that. See, so there you go, there's an example. Good thing that was a backup. So when I say about going on my knee, this is better with willow like this. It's just ever so slightly using a hard surface and just kind of rubbing and weakening the fibers. Other than that, I tend to just do this, especially with the kind of thicker end, to just help it get into position. Also maybe a little bit like this, do a little bit of a boogie. Also, can maybe try doing this. But in essence, you're just trying to get it into a circle. You can just also go straight for doing the circle, just depending on what material you use, means there may be, it might snap. Wow, okay. Well, I'm learning something. Maybe that can't be goat willow, because this is snapping way too easily. So there you go, you learn something new every day. And I've learned today, this, I'm gonna have to go with one of my other backups, because this is not long enough and it's snapping too easily. We have backup here. This is hazel, but this is a much, much longer piece of hazel. Well, I say much. This is more about 2 meters. So I'm gonna try this again. And what I wanted to do today, that was a little bit different to Hannah's, is I wanted to try and make a bit more of like a platter, like a sort of an oval platter rather than a circle. Now I apologise for the light. This is the only place that I can do this project because currently I'm living in a caravan. So I've had to come to my local woods to do this. That's it, I'm bracing that on my stomach to bring that round. Trying to do brace the thicker end, otherwise it will kink somewhere in the middle and you don't want that. So I'm just kind of getting the rough shape ready. And then what I want to do, get the circle that I've made already, put it in the other way up. As you can see here, that's facing this way. This is why I want this one going this way. And then same again, I'm making a circle, but I'm trying to weave this into the other one. Where was I? Sorry, I was saying, I apologise about the light. I know that there's a shadow, and this is a 101 filmmaking faux pas, is to have the shadow of your kit in the way. But it is what it is. This is the only place I can do it. I couldn't face the other way, otherwise the light would be a bit too much, I think. A bit too strong. So this is what we've got. Hopefully in future, myself and Alicia are going to have a nice plot. We're going to move on to our piece of land. We've got a 8-acre field that we've bought, but we don't have we're not allowed to park up and build our hopeful forever home on there yet. So for now, I come to beautiful locations like this. It's not all bad. Okay, all I'm doing is twisting it in, trying to, especially with these forest materials, trying to not stress the material that much. Okay, so there we go. I've kind of made it like a rough oval shape. I might try and just squeeze that a little bit just to continue that oval. Right, next we need 4 straight pieces. This is where I can use that willow again. So 4 pieces. To be honest, this is probably overkill. We don't need this much. As long as they are about 5 inches or 20 centimeters longer than your circle. I might even, I've got another thing there, because I've got 1 piece of hazel. So what I'm going to do is get rid of one of the willows and get that piece of hazel back. This is it. Make it up as you go along. Practice, play. Okay, then get your first stick. I'm going to start with some slightly thicker ones, because what I'm going to try and do, you don't have to do this, but what I'm going to try and do is put the thicker stuff here at the front and then work thinner as I go back. So first of all, under, over, under, over. Next one, exactly the same, just the other way. So we'll start the other side, under, over. This is where it might need a couple of hands to just hold things roughly in place while you do this. And then keep filling in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep putting in this hazel, trying to keep these two together, and for now try and keep them roughly spaced about apart as they are there. Once we get to about here, I'm going to start to move it back in, but for now we want to keep them about, what's that, 4 inches apart. Okay, and just keep filling in, same as before, under, over, under, over. Another material that you could use is dogwood. Plus, this is an experiment. I did this about a month ago, and I'm intrigued to see how long it keeps its colour for. So obviously it's this beautiful yellow. There are also varieties that grow that red, and then this the bottom is bramble, I think, bramble and ivy. But dogwood's another one that's lovely to work with. Anyway, I digress. Keep weaving, Jason, keep weaving. Got a bit of a time limit because I've only got an hour on this card left. Plus, I know, because Hannah's video is only 17 minutes long, which means this must be able to be done in that amount of time. So no pressure, Jason, but choppy chop. Okay. Jesus, too bright. Too bright. Bright light, bright light, bright light. I've just finished off creating the Catalan tray and realised that the mic didn't turn on for after I went and foraged these bits here. So I'm just going to take you through what I did. Once I went and foraged these bits here, I wove them in the exact same way as I'd been weaving everything else. And then after that, it was a case of retying these bits here, which I've just used honeysuckle. You can use any kind of different material. You could use like a natural cordage. That's what this is here. This is a banana plant from my dad's garden. This is made out of corn husk. We tie these on and then go around cutting all the different bits and pieces on top, flip it over and do the same again, and then just neaten it up. So for example, here I cut some of these bits on the bottom because I know what my top's going to be, and so I don't want as much on the bottom. And there we are. Catalan or tension tray. For my very first attempt, I'm fairly pleased. I think I would like to play with different textures and colours next time. I also see that I haven't directly centralised that, but I think that's okay, because to me it's going to be held kind of like this and up against yourself, especially one that's like a platter like this. This is so that you can bring over your big hunk of hog roast or something, I don't know. But yeah, I'm pretty pleased with how it's turned out. Take this off. I made a mistake. So when I was filming this yesterday, I wanted to put in some green material in the end, and I'd run out of Douglas fir. So I looked around me and I thought, oh, what can I get? That will do. The thing that's right behind me. I was pretty sure what it was, but I wasn't definite. Or I was pretty sure what it wasn't. I continued, I filled it in, I got home, and I thought I'd best do some research just to make sure. And although it didn't look like some of the pictures that I'd found, I looked in multiple different sources, which is a prime tip that any beginner, forager, anything like that you should do, is don't just get your information from one place. I looked in a few different places to then find out that this is yew. Highly poisonous yew if I was to ingest this. As you can imagine, I was quite annoyed at myself for doing this. This is a fundamental mistake. If I'd had accidentally somehow got some of this on my fingers and ingested it, it can be very poisonous to humans. So at very least, I would have had an upset stomach. Therefore, I thought I needed to come back and I needed to acknowledge that, but say it's okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this out. I've come back to where I originally got the Douglas fir from to get some longer pieces about this kind of size is what I've got Douglas fir. These are probably between 30 and 50 centimetres, I would say, just to make sure that they're long enough. But first of all, we're going to get rid of all this yew. I'm going to search around to see if there's another yew locally to go and put this next to it. Obviously, I'm not going to dispose of this right next to the picnic bench that I'm using. But it happens, it's a beginner mistake, and I think, myself included, sometimes you can kind of, when I found that out, I was quite affected by it, to be honest, because it's a mistake that could have gone a lot worse. I was drinking the tea that I'd made from the Douglas fir, so what if I'd accidentally got some of this in, you know? It could have been worse, and I hope that mistakes like that, and the shock that I got after I realised, are reasons why I won't do it again. Catalan or tension tray. Thank you everyone for watching today. I hope that you've enjoyed this. I definitely it's a good example of a beginner doing a beginner's project, that inevitably you'll make mistakes, but there'll be ways to rectify it. And it's just about practicing and using it as a reason to just go out and learn and have fun and play. If there's anything that you'd like me to do specifically, especially if it's to do with like random weave or weaving in general, please comment down below, let me know. And otherwise, I'll see you in the next one. Cheers. That's the way, no, Rach, that's the way to hold it. When you've got your mighty hog roast. Now I've got to go find someone with a mighty hog roast. See you in a bit.